and we'll get started. All right, you guys. Well, hey, welcome to another Tech Tip Tuesday, right at the end of March. Oh my gosh, March 29th. Does the month seem like it's just went by really fast? I mean, it has in my space. So all of a sudden, here we are at the end of March. But spring is in the air, and Freddie was just telling me about how wonderful his spring is in his air, and I've got some in my air. But we're going to try to spring into some tech tip solutions here tonight. So you guys that are old timers, welcome. Thanks for being here and joining us every week. Those of you that are new, I just want to give you a little heads up as to what we're doing here tonight. It is going to be a chat-based solution engine. So if you guys have some issues, things going on around the technical aspects of the apps, of the hardware, functions, stuff like that, put that stuff in the chat and we'll try to unpack that. What we aren't going to be covering is anything that has to do with diagnosis, any kind of analysis of disease, disorder. We don't treat or prevent anything here. We won't be able to give you any recommendations on microcurrent programs or things like that to use. This is just basically the technical aspects. So I am joined by a couple of incredible co-hosts. Thank you, Jake Barron from our operations in headquarters, and Freddie Perez is our tech guy who is, maybe some of you guys have talked to him live and had some solutions already. So we got him, and we have Michael, right? Is it Michael or Miguel? Who's in the back with us?
Oh, we got Michael tonight.
Michael's with us tonight on the chat. So he'll be also helping us here to solve some of your guys' issues. So in real time, I love this. It's a great asset that everybody's come together and helped you guys in the field. So let's open the chat and see what we got going on in there already, and do our best to solve it. I like Pam's question right out of the bat. What's the best tablet for Healy? Now, I mean, I've heard so many stories about tablets or iPads, and it's been kind of a little bit of a struggle for the iPad, folks, just to be honest. The iPad has had some difficulties in terms of some people, it's just flawless and smooth as butter. Other people have some conditions that are not really friendly. So basically, and I think that's happening also with the Android base, but the tablet seems to be a little bit more faithful. Not all tablets are created equal. You do get what you pay for. There are some tablets that you get out there that are branded with specific ads and content, things like that, may be in your way. Right. So you do get what you pay for. Freddie, you want to unpack that a little bit more?
Yes. Thank you so much for that. So, one of the things, in fact, I was dealing with an iPad today. And so what we always want to suggest first is make sure that your tablet has the most current iOS, right? The operating system. Currently, that's a 15.4. Okay. And, the basic reason is there could be fixed files going into that software, into your smart device. And it may cause some interruptions with our Blue Dot app. Pink Dot, really no issues there. So that's the first thing. The second is always going to be, make sure that if you have any programs running in the background, that you have those all closed when you go to run our programs. Again, we don't want to have any interference there that may cause those issues. And really, those are the two key points that I wanted to share, Ken.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's true. The most current operating system, whether it be in your Android-based or your Apple-based system, is going to be your advantage. And here's why I want to explain this. Because the moment that a platform developer, aka Android or iOS, create or find some kind of bug, find some kind of issue, and builds a patch, they do these updates. They create new software, and then that operating system gets updated. And then all of the app developers, not just Healy, but all of the app developers have to then create patches within their software to make sure it's functional and operational with this new operating system. So, so what happens is Healy will follow suit. Healy will follow suit by creating a new version that then is compatible with this new operating system. And if you haven't updated, then there could be some incompatibilities with your device, right? Does that make sense? So just keeping current. And another, the biggest tip, we say this all the time, don't we, guys? Close all the apps in the background, right? I mean, how many times have people got a bunch of stuff running in the background that's causing a lot of tasking on the processor? So yeah, thank you about that. I see a question here too about the, Barbara's asking some questions about the Healy Advisor, not selecting programs. Now, on the Healy for Beginners and Beyond, there's been some great training on the Healy Advisor app and some operations and functions to even do a little bit of a deep dive on how you can utilize the coaching part of it, essentially, as well as your own search function. Jake, do you want to talk about that at all, as far as or even maybe share the screen around that advisor?
Yeah, I can connect here in a minute, but we have had some great trainings on Healy for Beginners and Beyond, where we've gone in depth on the Healy Advisor search, as far as just basic search, whether it's the open search where you can type in anything, or the guided search where you're basically picking specific topics. So if you're going through there and it's not allowing you to, once the results come up, you actually have to click on the results to add them to your program pool. So I don't know if you're saying it won't let you select those, but
yeah. It sounds like it's the same programs coming through all the time, which means those are, well, go ahead.
No, I'll say if you wanted to, once the results come up, if you click, I'll just show it here in a minute. It might be easier to sort of go through, but
it is a bit of an explanation because there's a bit of differentiation between the search function as well as the advising function. Yeah. There's a differentiation as to how it creates lists, how it sends them to you, that kind of thing. So in one platform, it's not as open. It's a little more specific to the category you've chosen, and the other one is a little bit more open. So we can look at that here in a second. But meanwhile, let's grab a couple other questions. Let's see. Someone had to reset the master key. Okay, so you had to reset a master key for someone. So in other words, a resetting cloud account. So in the Blue Dot app, if there's an import issue with the master key, now we've all talked about master keys so much, everybody should know exactly what that is. But a master key, there's one master key assigned to each account, whether you're a customer or a member. Your account only needs one master key. It's one key to give access to as many Healys as you own on your account. Doesn't matter. So, but that one master key needs to be preserved, needs to be saved, needs to be preserved somewhere that you can access it. A lot of times what we want to do is we have you email it to yourself, right? And when you email it to yourself, it winds up off-site. In other words, it's no longer on your device hard drive. It's like in your Healy, I'm not your Healy, but your email hard drive. Okay, so it's like another server. And that makes a copy that is safe somewhere else. Now, then you have a copy on your smart device, right? In your memory somewhere. Maybe it's in Dropbox, maybe it's in your Google Drive. Maybe it is on the file section within your device. This is where the Healy app is going to be looking for that master key in order to unlock the capability of the app to access your cloud. Now, when you reset that, or what's called clear the cloud account, create a new cloud account, basically, you're going to get a new master key. And so you're going to have to save it again and make sure that it's somewhere safe within your email, as well as on your on your hard drive of your smart device. So, so making sure, again, if you've got the old master key and a new master key, how do you know which one's which, right? The master key itself, the file will have a name. It'll be a .json. The numbers prior to it is the date code. So you can tell if you've reset your cloud account, the newest one will have the newest date code, and that'll be the one that you would access your Blue Dot app right now after that reset function.
So Ken, I want to just piggyback off of that statement. It's very valid about the master key. And so if you are in a position where you know for certain you've got to reset that cloud account, of course, that's going to issue a new master key. So before you tap that reset the cloud, go in, find wherever that file, it's in your downloads, wherever it is for that existing master key, and delete it, right? Then you don't have to worry about any type of potential corruption that may have happened. You're starting fresh. That new master key is going to be the only one that you're going to look to recognize to go in and be able to, encrypt all of that data. And then back on Anja's question about it spinning for 5 minutes plus, I think too, again, be aware if you have programs running in the background, be aware of what kind of connectivity you have. Do you have a strong signal? Do you have multiple devices using it? All of those variables could contribute to a little bit slower and maybe even stopping that from actually completing that download.
Yeah, so if it's not going to save your scan, and here's a potential. I've seen this several times. Again, maybe other apps like Freddie said running in the background, but also the Blue Dot app that you just opened could have some of the segments not functioning properly. Okay. So it ideally, and I know this is, some people are going to go, well, this is going to take a while. Ideally, if you have to reset your cloud account, it's going to do a whole synchronization process after that. Log out of your cloud account, log out of your Blue Dot app, and then log back in. It's going to do a synchronization process again, right? And then go into the settings and turn off the auto sync. Just turn it off for a moment. And then add your clients, do your scan, and see how it's functioning. Because if the app itself is malfunctioning in some way, so in other words, it's sitting there scanning or spinning and spinning and spinning. If you've done a scan, it's not what's happening in the background. The app is trying to save the list to a memory location within the app. And perhaps some reason the memory location within the app has not been allocated by the app. In other words, your smart device hasn't given it any resources. That's a malfunction. But we don't know that that's going on or not. We can't tell because the app's not going to really tell us. So when you've done the process, I said, log out and log back in, that kind of clears the app's tie-in with the smart device's resources. Okay, it clears that tie-in, and then the smart device can allocate new resources to this, let's just say, new app that just came on board, right? If the problem persists, it's quite possible that it's a programming error within the app, and you may need to delete the app. And sadly, if you have any clients or any scans that you've done prior to that deletion and you haven't been able to do a backup, that data gets lost. I know these are kind of hard knocks learning tools, but we want to make sure what's going on. The same app that you have on your device that you had 6 months ago, if you haven't done the updates, which it's almost impossible because every time you open it, it automatically does an update. But if you haven't done any updates, or your smart device's memory is very low, the resources are very low, then there could be some other apps stepping on the toes of the Blue Dot app. You follow me? In other words, the resources just become limited. So, it's a little bit of an experiment, but it's important that you take notes and keep track of what's going on, because there's could be several things that we want to try to straighten out. Okay. All right.
So Charlie has posted here about his Healy just stopped syncing with his Bluetooth, and he's done everything that I know to do. Okay, so Charlie, of course, we don't know what that is. So we can try to unpack that here a little bit if you'll give us some further details on that, or feel free to go ahead and book an appointment at healysupport.com. You and I can work together to try to solve it if we don't do that here tonight.
I love Gene's question or statement here. It says, doing an assessment, it suggests a Healy Watch programs, but I don't have a Healy Watch. It's like, what? Why is it giving me these kind of feedbacks, right? And this is even sometimes as a male, you might get some other female type of programs or vice versa. What's the system doing? Is it crazy or what? It's not crazy. There are certain within the watch profile or protocol, there are programs in there with different capabilities than the ones that you have, that are not in the watch program system. And so if you're doing a scan of all Healy programs, it's going to look at them all, and including any kind of subscription or program groups that you don't have. But again, this is all in the Blue Dot or in the Advisor app, the Heal Analysis app. And the cool thing about that is that you can still run those programs in vibrate mode from the analysis and still get the benefits into the information field or the magnetic energy field of you through that app, as opposed to even having to have them on the microcurrent side. So still run them. If it comes up as an allocated need for your alignment, then definitely run them. Run them in vibrate mode from the Blue Dot app. And then just, you can run that list over and over. You can run it for short periods of time, multiple times per day. But that's why it's going to come up. It's not limiting. The results of your scan are not limited by the subscriptions you have. When you choose all Healy programs, it's going to say, you got it, girl. I'm going to look at them all for you. or guy, whichever. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got. Healy just stopped syncing with my Bluetooth. I've done everything that I know to do. Please help. Okay.
That's the one that I was just remarking about with Charlie.
Yep.
Kind of need a little bit more details there, I think, to unpack that further.
Yeah, the Bluetooth thing has been one of those Bluetooth that Healy uses. First of all, it's a blessing, and then not a blessing. It's a blessing because it's not very high power. The Bluetooth signal, the 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth signal, is within the millimeter wave or microwave frequency system, but it's super low power. It has no amplitude really. And so it's no more than essentially ambient magnetic energy that you're going to be exposed to anyway. So that being said, it's an advantage. The disadvantage is if you have other Bluetooth devices in proximity, I promise you most every other Bluetooth device probably has a higher amplitude of signal transmission, and it could be interfering because it's still within the same frequency spectrum as what Healy uses. Now, I want you to understand a principle. The way that Healy interfaces with the app and the Bluetooth combination there is your smart device. If Bluetooth is turned on, your smart device is transmitting a welcome signal to any Bluetooth out there. It's a welcome signal. It's out there looking for Bluetooth signals. And if it finds anything within that spectrum, it comes onto your phone, right? And you have the opportunity to access it or not access it. Healy's different. Healy's a little bit different. So in other words, you can have Healy turned on, turn your phone on, and your phone won't show the Healy in the list, right? Why not? What's going on there? Well, because it uses the Bluetooth through the app. So in other words, the sequence is you turn the Healy on first. Now the Healy starts sending the Bluetooth signal out to seek the app, not the phone, the app. So if you just have the phone turned on, it's not seeking the phone, it's seeking the app. So next you turn the app on, and then they handshake. Once they make that handshaking, there's a pairing that goes on without you putting any codes in or anything else. It just pairs. Okay. And then you'll see the app find the Healy. And once it finds the Healy, you'll have to scan it if you're running the pink dot, or well, you know, it's a different process for the blue dot, but that's the point, is that one needs to be on, the Healy on first, app on second. Nobody's on third, so don't worry about that one. Just app on first. I mean, Healy on first, app on second. Okay.
And Michael addressed that as well. He posted a link, so that could be a benefit for everyone. Download it and save it if you ever come into some Bluetooth issues.
Okay. And looks like that talking about synchronizing the Blue Dot app in order to make sure that certain programs are in there and that kind of stuff. Yes. The synchronization process, it's also one of those blessings that could also be a curse when you're trying to do certain things with the Blue Dot. We're talking about the Healy Advisor Analyse app. The Healy Advisor Analyse app, it has an auto sync function, so that every time you open the app, which is, by the way, folks, the same as the Advisor app, the one with the wavy lines, the Advisor app, when you open it, it synchronizes automatically too. But the Healy Advisor Analyse app, the Blue Dot, every time you open it, if you have auto sync turned on, every time you open it, it's synchronizing in the back. And you can tell by the little gear at the bottom right of the screen sitting there spinning, it's synchronizing in the back. And if you're trying to do a scan, some kind of an analysis, you're trying to do two things at once there that may conflict. If we talked about earlier about an iPad and which one to buy, or a tablet, if the resources on your device are slow. So here's some of the things that are characteristic of different hardware. The processor that's in this, just like your computer, like a tablet or an iPad or a phone, they're not all the same processor. Some are faster than others. And so if you've got too many things going on, the processor on your smart device can't keep up, and it'll slow things down. You'll have bottleneck issues. You'll have even failures. So like I said, you get what you pay for. If you get a good, high quality device, smart device, you're going to get good performance.
And that's another reason too, Ken. That's a great point there about the CPU being of different qualities on different devices. That's why one of the reasons we suggest make sure you have all the apps closed in the background, so it's not pulling from that energy.
Yes. Yep. There's a comment in here. If you guys are following the comments, Toby talks about his Samsung Galaxy Tab A. It's been working great, right? And I've heard that the Tab A is great. Now, if you get some of the Tab A's, even though it says Tab A, that you get at, say, maybe a department store, that's, a third of the price of something else, take a peek at the content of the build, the hardware. Take a peek. They'll be different, I promise. Yeah.
Linda posted a question in here about having a Healy Holistic. Still unopened. I guess she wants to have someone else use it. So Linda, the Holistic doesn't have the use of a master key. It's going to be the resident and above. So you're safe to send that one. Now, unless that Holistic was upgraded to a resident or above, then yes, a master key would be necessary. But and if you're still the owner, as Ken mentioned a little earlier, the account is issued one master key for all the devices you own. Okay. Yeah. But if that's not the case, now we don't need the master key. So send it along and let them enjoy it.
And keep in mind, if you are sending it to them permanently, you're going to want to do a device transfer request. So in case they ever need a help or assistance, troubleshooting, replacement, that they are listed in our system as the actual new owner of that device.
Yeah, that's very useful too, because customer service, well, first of all, in order to be able to even submit the customer service ticket, you've got to have a Healy account, right? And so you wouldn't be able to get any real support from the corporate side. And if there is some malfunction within the controlling account, that all of the addition benefits are assigned to, you wouldn't be able to fix anything, right? I mean, if you're not the actual owner of the device. So,
and support's going to have you reach back out to that owner of the device and have them submit it through their back office.
exactly. Yep. The transfer has to originate from the original owner, right? And then allocate the new account owner the permission to transfer, basically. Amber asks a pretty good question here. I like this one. So how do you explain meridians to people? It's like, whoa, okay. So that because allergy meridian showed up on a client and they're like trying to figure out, what to say, right? So meridians, our body has many, many pathways that, of course, the brain communicates with the body, and there are communication pathways, and that you can access these pathways through different parts of your body, right? I mean, the hands are amazing meridian access points. The feet, there's different meridian access points, and so when you do a scan on all Healy programs and a meridian shows up, it's because it's pointing to a specific part of the body, because the meridians are going to show up and it's going to say, which meridian. It's going to give you the specific one. And this one, she says the allergy. So allergies are not just, let's look at it this way. What are the symptoms of an allergy? Freddie, you probably know because you got some going on right now, right?
Yeah, runny eyes and drippy nose.
Right. And so these are things that has to do with the mucous membranes and the respiratory systems, right? So there's a meridian attached to that. Now, what's this? There's not just one part. The lungs, right? You've got the bronchial tubes. You've got the nasal passages. You've got all kinds of things, different assignments. So if there's something that's being disrupted within those systems, then allergy could logically show up as a meridian that needs to be aligned so that you can help energize that meridian so that you can maybe clear whatever obstructions there are, right? I mean, even if you're not having symptoms, here's a cool, I've seen this over and over and over again. Something comes up in a scan, no symptoms in the present moment. The next day, right? The next day, it's like there's this stuffy nose, runny eye thing. And it's like Healy's building you up to be ready, right? For the event. And then try to align you. So it's like, wow, I love it.
So Melissa has a little question in here. She's stating that she upgraded her iPhone's iOS, then lost the clients and the list. Are they gone forever? So what I'm going to suggest, and Kid kind of touched on this a little bit ago. So you update that operating system. Now we need to go into specifically, I would go into both your pink and your blue. In the pink, go in there and check for updates. Okay. And in the blue, go in there and go into your cloud settings and do a full synchronization. Right. So now we've updated both the pink and the blue that are going to look to match up with that new iOS that you've just completed the upgrade to.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just upgrading to the new iOS version shouldn't delete anything to do with the Analyse app or your master key or anything like that. So if there is an issue, there should still be there somewhere on your phone. If for some reason you logged out or the app needed to be reinstalled, something like that. So I wouldn't give up quite yet.
Right. Yeah, no, don't, because again, I mean, going into the Blue Dot app specifically, when you go into the cloud settings and you go do that full synchronization, again, even if you just had one program, because it's looking to update one of the programs, it doesn't tell us which one, right? And that might be the one that's going to trigger for that data to come back. In fact, I experienced that today, as a matter of fact, with someone, right? They had just done the update to their iOS last night. We came in today and she's like, it's not letting me see. It's doing the scans. It's not letting me see anything. As soon as we did the full sync, we went back into that same client, didn't run a new scan. Boom, all the results pop right into place.
Mm-hmm. Then here's an interesting comment here from Melissa. She says, almost every time I try to log into the into the advisor, it searches for my Healy and makes me scan the barcode. Now, to scan the barcode or to scan the QR code, that's only happening in the pink dot. So when you say an advisor, you got essentially there's two advisor apps. One is called the Heal Advisor Analyze. That's what we call the blue dot. Okay, the Heal Advisor Analyze. So that's comes with the resonance and above. That edition, resonance and above. So that's where we're going to do scans. We've been talking about the scans and the master key and all that kind of stuff. That's associated with that. The other one is just called the Heal Advisor. That's like 3 wavy lines. It's kind of the wave, the frequency wave. So in that's a management tool. It's an amazing management tool. Again, it logs in similar to the way you log in with the blue dot, AKA username and password, right? So, so more clarity. I just want to get more clarity here when you're saying every single time it asks you to search for the Healy and scan the barcode. That's the pink dot app. Okay, that's the microcurrent app. And it typically will hold the connection to that particular Healy's barcode and that app. Now, if you open Healy on another smart device, it's going to make you scan the barcode or the QR code. It's going to make you scan it. Normally, it will hold the one smart device and the app that's on there. When you open it multiple times, normally it will hold that barcode. If it doesn't, it's going to ask you to rescan it again. Sorry. You know, it's better to be safe than sorry. It wants to make sure that it's got your Healy. So you're right. That didn't used to happen as much. It didn't. I mean, I remember, you know, it didn't used to happen. There's been updates to that program to make sure that the connection is secure. So you may have to do it more often. Sorry if it's frustrating.
Someone is asking again for the help address. So that's going to be healysupport.com. Healysupport.com opens up a calendar. You're able to choose the best date and time available, and then we'll work together to help resolve your issue.
Now, Freddie, do they still need to have a ticket submitted in order to make that appointment?
Well, the answer is yes. It's a required field. And the reason we want that is that we want support to be able to have eyes on it so that there could be a potential solution they suggest, right, prior to when we have our meeting. And that's happened several times where the member has an issue, it gets resolved before we actually have our Zoom meeting, which is a good thing. But that also helps aid the tech in saying, okay, we have issues this area, not so much here, right? That kind of thing.
Also want to remind people, not everyone is aware because it's not necessarily as well known as the thing that Freddie's doing at healysupport.com, but our own tech support team through the ticketing system is scheduling Zooms as well. So it's not a place where you can kind of go to a calendar, an open calendar and book, you know, whenever you want. But if we're working on a ticket, Michael's on the chat, he's done several of these, but pretty much every day now, members of our tech support team are sending out single-use booking links to people within the ticketing system where they can book an appointment that fits their schedule. And then our team here will also help via Zoom. And we have several calls happening every day, and we've been able to help out a lot of people as well. So just keep that in mind if there is an issue. And then we are monitoring the tickets. If it's something where it's going back and forth and not making a lot of progress, we will offer that as well. So
yeah, that's super great. I mean, the support guys, I've been here for over 2 years. You know, Freddie, same. We've been here a while. We're the old timers here. Jake's still the newbie. So hey, right. but he, you know what? 1 month in Healy is like 5 years. So you're like, he's like seasoned already. Trust me, he's broke in. But I remember.
No, you're absolutely right. And listen, the tech people that are back there, that are over there working in the same office over there that Jake's working in, if not, you know, from a home-based environment, I've had the honor and the pleasure of working with some of these folks, and they're top shelf. I got to tell you, they know what's going on. So, you know, sometimes it may not happen as fast, right? We're in an instant gratification kind of society, We want it fixed yesterday, but let time take its course, and you will be very happy with whomever you get to work with out of our tech support team.
You know, it was, let's see, I've been here with Healy for, it was 2 years since November, and there has not been a single case that wasn't solved. Nothing. I mean, there's been plenty of issues, but not a case that hasn't been solved. Maybe not immediately, like Freddie said, but it gets solved. Okay, so Chris has a great little comment here, and I don't know if it's addressed already, but they have a member who got a new iPhone and don't think that they have their master key anymore. What do we do, right? Where do we get the copy? So we kind of talked about this a little bit. You get a new device. Here's what I'm going to tell you about when you get a new iPhone. Folks, the first thing you need to do is you need to sync it with your iTunes. You need to sync it with your cloud, your iPhone cloud. Why? Because all of your capability to access your emails, right? All of the things that you would normally do with that device, with the old device, I mean, has to be migrated over to the new device so that you can have all the accesses. And if you haven't set up your email on your new iPhone, you're going to have some problems right out of the chute because that's where you're going to wind up retrieving your master key. Like we said earlier, that's going to be the safe spot to keep your master key. Okay. So first thing is first, set up your new device with all the features that you want to use it for. Why'd you get a new iPhone in the first place? Well, because I want to do all these things. Okay, great. Set those up first, right? Then you set up your Healy and you migrate your master key from your cloud account. Make sure you have access, make sure you can see it. And it's going to be in your iCloud. If that's where you saved it, depends on where you saved it before. It's still going to be available to you. And then you're going to load the apps onto your new iPhone. And then those apps are going to need to migrate content. So my recommendation is start with the blue dot. Start with the pink dot. Start with the pink dot, right? Go to your Healy app, migrate all the content by scanning the QR code on the back, populate that app, then go over to the blue dot and log in and do that process. And then it's going to pull in, it's going to look for your master key. There's lots of resources. If you go to YouTube.
Yeah, actually, I was just gonna show something here, but
yeah.
So if they still have their old iPhones and say they didn't store it in an email or on a cloud account, they should be able to go back to their old iPhone. If say it's stored directly on their device, they could always log in or connect to their Healy with their old phone. Then they could back up their master key, save it either in iCloud or email it or something like that to bring it over. Or, which is what I was going to show here, on last week's Healy for Beginners and Beyond, we actually showed how to activate a device with the master device, which could be a situation here where that would help out. So real quick, I'm just going to show here. I know a lot of you have already seen our YouTube page, healyamericas.com, but for those of you that haven't, just want to point out one thing here. Okay. So this is our main page here, healyamericas.com. It's Healy World Americas on YouTube. But if you see here, these are the most recent uploads, and this is Healy for Beginners and Beyond from last week. But you can also get to it from, if you click playlist and then go to Healy for Beginners and Beyond, view full playlist. And then you do this one here, which was the one we did this past Thursday. If you scroll down here and go to show more in the description, so you'll see here all the topics that we covered, and we did we covered most of the call was dedicated to the HealAdvisor Analyse app, and we see here setting up for the first time, importing, saving your master key, backing up your master key, why and when, the reason why there's only one master key per account, and then also a little bit further down, we did a demo on how to use the activate device with existing master device feature. So if you click on the timestamps here for each of these segments, well, after this short ad plays. So, okay. So it's going to show you here exactly how to do this feature that, you may have seen it when you're importing your master key and sort of wondered what that was. And we sort of go into detail of how you can use that. So definitely check this out. I see there's a couple other master key questions in the chat here, but this I would definitely go here and review the information that we covered on this call.
That's great stuff. And I love the fact that it is a hyperlink. That's what those little blue things there with a timestamp and then a description afterwards. That's a hyperlink. So it jumps you right to the content right there. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just go.
Yeah. And if you have some people on your team that might have the same question and they've been asking you, you can just, right click on this and do copy link address and send them that link. When they open it, it'll start right at this segment that we're talking about. So,
yeah. And you can get to that by going to healyamericas.com.
Yep.
Just type in healyamericas.com. That channel is Healy World. Healy, what is it again?
Healy World Americas.
Yeah, Healy World Americas. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Subscribe, click on the little notification bell so you can get notified when new videos are uploaded. And here's what I constantly, if we're building a business in Healy, we've got to create duplicatable modalities. If we're building let's say that we want to build to a $100,000 a year business, $200,000 a year, doesn't matter. Even if it's just $10,000 a year, whatever, you cannot support the number of people in a one-on-one situation to do that. You've got to be able to build things that you can onboard people and then have a resource pool that they can go back to. Now, here's what Jake has created. And here's what Freddie has created. Here's what this Tech Tip Tuesday has created. We've created tools that you can be so much more useful at recruiting, at connecting, and then point people to the proper tools. Right? This is the value here. I get questions all the time, folks. I mean, all the time. And I would spend hours and hours answering. And these are not folks on my team. They're just global. And so I'm now pointing them to tools. We have the Academy. That is the first steps for us to get going. The Academy in the back office is amazing. And it's available for members and customers. All right. And then we have the YouTube channel. Now, when you're looking for content, don't Google it. Don't Google it, because if you Google something about Healy, you're going to get that maybe, but you're also going to, maybe you're going to get a bunch of hate mail too. I mean, I'm just saying there's always something negative out there too. So if you want content, go to YouTube and search there for the content you're looking for. Now you're going to find more specifics, right? You're going to find the Healy Americas page. So
yeah, I just want to piggyback on that. Just one last comment there. That Healy Americas YouTube site, what Jake just shared with you about being able to go to a specific topic and then being able to share that section with someone, my goodness. See what you're doing too. You're actually helping them in multiple ways, answering their question, and then you're introducing them to that resource. So always let them know where you got it. Don't be a secret agent. Let them know how to get there and get it. So they too, 24/7 are able to get to it.
Yep, we've got about 10 hours of Tech Tip Tuesdays on there and around 10 hours of Healy for Beginners and Beyond available on there. So tons of content. And then again, it's all hyperlinked.
And if you go to, so we have the Team Healy USA Telegram page. And that's another resource. But if you go to the top of that page and you click on the little spyglass, the little search function, and you put in a topic, if we've covered it on a call or within that platform, it also shows up. So what I tell folks all the time is you want to get plugged in. There's 3 places to plug in. Number 1, the Team Healy USA Telegram page. All of the calls are posted there. All the resources are posted there. Number 2, the Healy Members Americas Facebook page. Okay, that's another one. And then number 3 is going to be the YouTube channel. I think if you had those 3, what else would you guys add? I mean, those 3 are super huge.
Yeah, if you just utilize the resources on just those 3 locations, that is like going to junior college right there.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of time just learning Healy.
Exactly. So I came back up a little bit in here, and Jamie Lynn submitted this, and from time to time we've gotten some issues about folks that have sincere sensitivity to the EMFs, to the Bluetooth, to using our device. And so their question really is, which would be the best that we would suggest when using the Healy, the wristbands, the coil, the resonant frequencies? That's kind of a tough one though, right? Because we don't really know how sensitive they are. I mean, could you do a resonance and, have it 2 or 3 feet away from you? Are you still going to have some sensitivity? What are your thoughts on that, Ken?
Well, so using the resonance app requires a real-time one-to-one connection with the Bluetooth. It needs to have the resource of the software, the program itself. As you notice when you're watching it, if you are vibrating frequencies from a particular scan, you're going to see waveforms of a pinkish hue and a bluish hue. Okay, that is read and write function. Read and write to what? Read and write to you. It's literally reading information from you, right? That's the blue waveform. And then writing content to you. That's the red or the pink waveform. It's a real-time one-on-one individual interaction through the quantum sensor. Okay, it's literally on the electron field. This is the field of information. And so it needs to have that. It has no other way of communicating with the software. The Bluetooth is the only way it can communicate with the software. And the Bluetooth range between the two devices is only 32 feet. That's not very far, right? And that's just clear line of sight. So if you're in the car and the device is outside, then now you have car in the way. If you're in one room and the device is another room, now you have room in the way, you have walls in the way. So this is just straight line of sight. So 32 feet, right? That's like, what, 10 meters, right? It's not very far. So it's still, if you're sensitive, you can get a ways away with your Healy, keep with your Healy and get a little bit of ways away from the phone. Again, it's like Freddie said, you got to test, what is your sensitivity? What's your tolerance? The coil itself is also EMF. I mean, there's so many times people are afraid of those symbols. EMF. Oh my gosh, that's electromagnetic frequency or electromagnetic force. That came about well, Tesla created it. EMF is an electromagnetic force. It's a force. When you have an earth magnet, when you have a crystal, when you have a personality trait that walks up on you, there is EMF from those. Have you ever encountered somebody that you just like, ooh, there's your spidey senses are going off and you're like, there's something going on. I can't be by this person. That's EMF. That's electromagnetic force frequencies coming from that person. And it's radiating from their body. Our bodies are antennas. We transmit information and we receive information. So how sensitive are you? And that's the key. That's where you begin. How sensitive are you? What tolerance levels can you handle? Because then if we move into the coil is magnetic. It's sending out signals. And the higher you turn the amplitude on the app, the stronger the magnetic wave coming out. So you can, if it's sensitive, too sensitive for that, you could turn that way down. Or just the Healy itself, by the way, when you're running any of the pink dot programs, the Healy itself, the noise generator, AKA the quantum sensor, is sending those frequencies out into space. And so if you just have it on your body and not have the app, start the program with the app and then shut it off. Shut it off. The device, even if you're not connected to there, is sending the information into your body. Okay. So that's the least amount of invasiveness that the system can get to. Okay. So hopefully that helps. I mean, it's going to be an experiment for you. All right.
Well said.
Can we have a clip? Can we have a clip of what you're saying? I'm back a little ways. So that was Katerina. Can we have a clip of what you're saying?
Well, you'll be able to view it, the recording on our YouTube page, and there'll be a hyperlink to it if you were looking for just a clip of what you were just saying just now. So
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the cool thing about this tool, guys. Like Jake said, you can look like an amazing expert, right? Well, you already are. I know you are. All of us are. You can go to that YouTube and take that one little hyperlink, copy and paste it over into a text, right? In just a moment, you can text it. How many guys? I mean, I'm a one thumber, by the way. Some of you people are so fast, I can't even keep up. I mean, I send a message, boop, I got to reply. Wait a minute, it takes me a minute. But anyway, you could send that to somebody, and there's that one clip, that they could hear what we were just talking about. Right. So hopefully that's
yeah.
Yes. She's talking about how the Healy communicates with the person. So I'm telling you, I am blown away by this technology all the time. Every time I explain it to somebody, I get excited. I can feel my body energy start to raise because it's so exciting. It's so like, I don't think we comprehend where this is communicating from. If we look at the electron field is a field of information that is that's interacting with the space, this emptiness that we've discovered as the quantum field. And this is what connects everything. And we can interface with that. Healy has got a bridge to interface with that. And it looks at the content of the client, AKA you, and it knows all the coordinates. How does it know that? It's got your name, it's got your picture, it's got when you were born, where you were born, right? It's also got a waveform imprint from the quantum sensor of you saved in that nice little tight package of a digital client, AKA you. And then, so that's over here on this side of the equation. On the other side of the equation is possibility. The endless vast database resource that Healy's got, and you choose which one. You can narrow it down, right? And then Healy goes within microseconds, scanning billions of bits of information to come up with the solution that bridges the gap between the perfect imprint of you, AKA the objective observer, in the electron field, the field of information, and the you that it has in the client record, and bridges the gap of insufficiencies or alignment needs, and then sends them to you. Brilliant. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right, guys.
So we had a good suggestion here from Tom. He said a deep dive video on natural cycle would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, that is an excellent idea, because there's a ton of information around, or specific ways you're supposed to use the natural cycle. I'm sure some more resources will be available in the near future, but I put a link in the chat here a little bit ago to the link to register for this Friday's Frequencies and Friends. And keep in mind that, of course, Marcus Shmika is going to be on that, but also Nuna Nina's going to be on that as well. So I don't know exactly what he's going to discuss, but I'm sure some of it will be about the natural cycle. So if you're looking for more information, make sure you register for that. It's at noon Eastern time this Friday.
And that's, so we were just talking about that in terms of the planning for the What's Up Wednesday calls. We were just talking about that in terms of getting, more training and stuff like that. So just stay tuned, folks. We're working on it. It's when things are new, it's new. So we're working on it. Definitely tune in to Frequency and Friends this week, this Friday.
Yeah, the last Frequencies and Friends was moved to a Zoom format because that was for the Americas market. The one this Friday is a global. We're being combined in with the Europe market. I think Asia Pacific has their own, but so it moved back to Webinar Jam for this next one. So you do have to register for this one coming up on Friday.
I've seen these questions many times. People are asking for the PV of certain things. So I want you to understand the formula. The formula is typically always about 50% of the cost, the money cost of whatever you're getting. So in other words, let's say that the natural cycle, its regular price is 250 euros, but you got it for 99 euros. You're not going to get the half of the 250. You'll get the half of the 99. Okay. So you're going to get half of what you pay. That's the in volume. In volume. That's a pretty good estimate until you see what comes up on the price sheet. It's so new yet, folks, it hasn't even been launched to the general public.
Yep.
Only you guys that were special on that, on the Healy World Meets the World event got to touch it. So it's not even public yet. So it's just be patient. It's coming.
And it's amazing. Well, in order to get that higher PV, we'd have to call it the natural lotto cycle, right? Because, and I say that in just, of course, but when you open that up and you see what's in there, oh my goodness. We were reviewing that today and Terry's like, well, I got to wait. So this is a clue, just a little clue. Terry's saying, I got to wait till my moon cycle is on this date. So we're not going to tell you what that means. We want you to go get it and discover it, right? And it is just amazing. It truly is.
It ties the pink dot and the advisor together. I mean, it's super cool. So like digital nutrition has that tie between the microcurrent programs and the advisor in terms of shopping lists and all the cool coaching stuff it does. So it ties two together like that. So it's got it. So you're getting it in two places. You're going to get it in two places. Well, three, because it's on the blue dot too. So it's like, yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got, guys. We got about 2 minutes. Is it still available as a promo cost? Nope. Sorry. The natural cycle was only a 72-hour promo for just the folks who were on the Healy Worlds Meets the World. And there was two distinct, you had to have the shop link and you had to have the promo code, the coupon code to get the special price. But that was over. It was only a 72-hour thing. And I know there were people, I had them too, people that like didn't get your email, you know, you were registered for the event, you didn't get the email, whatever's happened. And Jake, you and I talked about this. I don't know if there's what solutions can be come up with, but I don't know. You guys still working on it?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of cases that for people that had put in support tickets that for some reason, maybe they weren't able to select their serial number, things like that. But those are being handled sort of on a one-on-one basis once a solution's found for that.
Yeah, I know it's really not. It would be nice to be able to say gift some of these amazing modules to people, right? So, but we need a serial number to attach it to. So let's put that intention out there to be able to, to buy a module for someone else and gift it, right? Let's just put that intention out there. All right, guys. Well, anything else you want to, in closing, you want to do a lightning round, or we pretty caught up?
I think we're pretty caught up as much as I can tell.
Yeah, right on. Well, thank you guys for being here. I'm super grateful for you guys to be here. We're going to continue doing this as long as it's beneficial to the field. That's been my intention. If you look at the Telegram page, our Team Healy USA page, and you just click on Tech Tip Tuesdays, you'll see how far back it goes. I mean, Jake has been amazing in creating the YouTube page and then all the categories. But we've been doing this call for quite some time, and it's been there, a lot of content in the back. So I don't know how many hours and hours of content, but there's a lot, and I don't recommend watching them all. Some of them were more beneficial than others, but anyway, I'm super glad you guys were here. So if there's any other last minute things we want to cover, I think we're good. All right.
Yeah.
I will be helping people Friday, but I encourage you, go register for Friday. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Don't forget, be on there and keep track on the Team Healy USA, that Telegram page. If you're not there now, go to your sponsor, go to your upline, find out how to get there, get onto that page, and you'll see, because we're going to post the links and stuff on how to get onto that call for Friday, and as well as all the others. So thanks, guys, for being here. Much love. Glad you're all healthy and well, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks,
Be blessed.
everyone.